giving you an overview of the brief introduction, what we have seen in the first chapter. In the first chapter, we have seen the introduction to the international business. What is the international business? Why do we need to conduct or undergo the concept of international business? The perspectives of importance and nature and scope of international business. Then we have seen various modes of entry into the international business. Okay, that if your company is into existence and you want to go and start your international business, so what are the various modes of entry? Okay, how will you enter the international market? Then we have also dealt with the internationalization process. Key, the process of internationalization for a country, for a process, for a particular nation, or for a particular company. How do you go and internationalize yourself? Then we have seen with the in detail about the concepts of globalization with respect to meaning, implications, the globalization as a driver for international business. Okay? Why there is a certain need that every company or every country needs to be globalized. What was the need that has dealt with and how the globalization has helped the Indian economy and the various economies of world. Then furthermore, we have seen with the multinational corporations with respect to MNCs. So what is an MNC? The evolution of MNC, the various features and dynamics of the global enterprises and the establishment of MNCs in India and MNCs across the globe or the world. Then we have also dealt with certain examples of the various multinational enterprises in the world and what are their performance and presence in the globe. Then, and lastly, we have seen with the Brexit and the impact of Brexit in the world economy and the European economy and the terminology of reverse globalization. Today, we have with us in the second chapter, we are dealing with the international business environment. This particular international business environment in this particular concern or the chapter, what we'll be looking for? We will be looking for the different types of environment that are into existence. Now, a particular environment can be called as an either a macro environment or a micro environment. Now, this particular type of macro or micro environment consists of a certain concern wherein there are several components or participants. These participants are directly or indirectly impacting your business activities when you are either at the domestic level or at the international level. From this particular chapter, we'll be dealing with the international business environment on focuses of which focuses on the political economy of the international business, that is the political environment, the economic and the political systems, that is with respect to the coordination and link between the economy and political systems, then the legal environment, the cultural environment, and lastly, the ethical and social environment. So here, with specific concern, the pestle analysis, that is political, economic, social, technological, analytical, legal, cultural, and so on. So all the perspectives of pestle analysis with respect to the international business will be dealt and taken into picture. And lastly, a short note or a certain perspectives of ethics and CSR in the international business will be dealing with and taking into consideration. Now, why the particular concern of ethics and CSR has been introduced? Because every member country, every member nation is today looking for the global platform or a global concern. Now, when we are going for a global concern or a global platform, we need to take into consideration all the natural and climatic conditions or natural factors which directly impacts our business. So what are the various ethics? What are the various guidelines that one a nation or a country or a particular company has to follow? And what is the role of CSR into the international business? Concern with the now all these particular perspectives is specifically related with the business perspective. Now, what is a particular business? Business is defined as a set of exchange that is related to the industry and commerce. So any activity that you're undertaking between each other for promotion of trade, for promotion of activities, and the combined set of all these activities which promotes the trade and commerce, the industry and commerce is called as a business. So exchange of goods and services for the benefit of the organization and for the benefit of the society can be termed as business. So unless and until there is no business, no activity can be conducted, no business transaction can take place, no financial activity can take place, and hence business is an essential requirement for conducting the activities. Now specifically coming with the international business. When business activities are carried across the political borders of a country, it is termed as an international business. Now, political borders. Now, across the political borders. Now, business, what we have seen, business is just conducting any trade or any activity or any business transaction. Now, this particular business transaction is always related to a specific concern, that is a certain boundary. Now, whenever this particular boundary has been conducted within the organization, within the company, within the nation, within the country, it is called as an domestic business or the home business. when this particular business is created or went or go outside or of a particular country or a particular nation, outside the international boundaries, outside the international borders, and that particular perspective is called as an international business. So international business activities are carried across the political borders. The political borders, as a particular perspective of India, we have a certain political border of our own, that is, which starts from Jammu and Kashmir and ends at Kanyakumari, which extends from Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan up to Assam, West Bengal, Telangana, Hyderabad, and so on. So across the political borders, across the globe, we have a certain borders of our own. Same borders, every member country, every member nation also has of their own. So if a particular business is going out of a political border, out of a particular business or out of a particular concern, then that particular business can be termed as or coined as an international business. Now the combination of business, international business and international business environment. A business environment includes various external factors and forces that surrounds a firm and impacts the outcome of its decision and operations. So here, what we can understand, a business environment is a particular concern wherein you are not now in terms of your business, what we are looking for in terms of business, we were focusing on all the internal factors. So controlling of all the internal factors, governing, regulating, and providing a certain environment wherein the business can be conducted, the profits can be generated, the wealth can be maximized for a certain concern in order to develop your business activities within the home origin was the concern of internal factors. Now, when your business is going outside the boundaries, outside the political regions, outside the concern of your country or a particular nation, what happened? You have to deal with the certain external factors and forces into existence. So all those particular factors which are may be either internal, all those factors which may be either external, which are impacting your business activities, which are impacting the activities of your firm, and its outcome and decisions are being directly or indirectly affected, that particular environment is called as a business environment. So here what we see, it is always a very essential factor or a particular concern that all the factors, that is whether the internal environment, whether the external environment, whether the political factors, whether the domestic climate, whether the international climate, if everything or possibilities of everything is provided in a conducive environment at a feasible stage, then you can conduct all these business activities very effectively and very efficiently. The objectives of the business. So going with the how the business has been developed and what are the various objectives of your respective business that you are going to undergo or perform. The objectives of both domestic business and international business is making profits through customer satisfaction and social welfare. So by the origin, by the default, what we know, we can understand that the business, the major motive or purpose of doing a business is for wealth maximization or profit maximization. So if a particular company is either looking for profit maximization, what a business must be, it should have the objective of making the profits from both, that is the domestic business as well as from the international business. So we cannot say that my revenue can be generated only from the international perspectives and I completely ignore the domestic market. For this particular concern, what you need to do, you need to be a certain company or organization of a certain perspectives wherein you are focusing exclusively only on your international market. So in this case, what happened? Your profits are directly proportional, directly relational only when the international market performs. So if the international market doesn't perform, do not provide you certain profits, your business may be at a losses and you have to suffer or bear the own risk of its own. Another perspective from the domestic market. Now, if you are focusing specifically on the domestic market, after a point of time, if a particular situation has been found that with the aspect of product life cycle, if your product is supported, supplied and purchased by all the consumers, then what you need to do in order to expand your market, you have to take your business outside the boundaries. When this particular business is taken outside the boundaries, what happened? The profit that is also generated is from outside the boundaries or outside the region of the globe or your respective nation. Simultaneously, the objective is the business of the international business is also to particular concern that the customers must be satisfied from the product or service that you are offering. Whatever may be the product, whatever the service that you may be offering, the customer, the end user of your product may get satisfied. Why? Because ultimately it is the customer satisfaction that values a lot and which will provide a certain returns at an international level and on a continuing basis. Simultaneously, the another objective of the international business is also with respect to the social welfare. Now, if you are doing or undertaking or conducting a business activity, what we need to understand, if we are giving a certain concern that is a product or a service to the company or a particular society, the society is also paying you a certain sum of money. That is For example, if you are purchasing a laptop for a costing of rupees 50,000, the society, that is a particular customer, pays you 50,000. But in return, you are harming the nature, you are contributing to the economy, you are contributing to the taxes, you are contributing the resources, you are purchasing the resources of the organization from the nature, from the climate, and so on. So in return, what you have to do, you have to provide a certain part of your contribution from your earning as a social welfare in form of donation or charity or CSR. This perspective, every organization has to make into consideration, and now being it's a mandate or a certain compulsion made by the central government and the state governments, what we have to do, we have to look into certain perspectives that your social welfare, your social cause, your benefit of the society is always supportive and conducive in nature. Now, the types of international business environment. So what are the various different types of international business environment wherein you have to conduct the business activities? So major classification of the types of business environment can be of two types. First thing, the controllable environment, and second thing is the uncontrollable environment. Controllable environment is that particular concern wherein the factors of production, the factors of activities, the market is controllable, and uncontrollable wherein there is no control on by your side or from your perspectives. So from the controllable environment, business decisions. So what are the various business decisions that one needs to undertake in order to find out or in order to control all the activities within the organization? Now, controllable environment is specifically related with your domestic environment or your home environment. So these particular activities may be with respect to your production, financing, your marketing, human resource, your business decisions, and so on. So what we need to see, we need to understand and we need to take into consideration all the parts, that is all the components which forms internal to the organization. These particular factors should be controlled by a particular business, by a particular organization. And if these particular goods and services or the products have been controlled, then your business flourishes effectively and it is providing proper inputs and outputs to the organization. So production activity, yes, your production is properly controlled. You can have a proper control on your raw material, on your procurement, on your processing activities, and your distribution activities. Financing, what are the various sources of finance that needs to be made available, the requirement of the fund, the working capital management, the balance sheet, the debt management, and so on. So financing is also part of a controllable environment. Human resource, the availability of labor, the availability of factors of production, the availability of the skilled and unskilled labor, the recruitment of right people at the right job. All these particular factors forms your parts of the human resources. And lastly, the marketing perspective. That is, whenever your finished product has been ready for sale, if your production activity is complete, the product needs to be sold out to the home market, retail market, or the international market. So what we need to see, proper coordination of the marketing activities so that the customer gets persuaded and interested to purchase your product, and in return he provides a certain return in terms of pricing, and you get a certain return on your product or your investment. So these are all the parts of controllable. Various factors that may form for the controllable and uncontrollable environment is of a different perspectives, which we will not deal in right now. Next, another second perspective that we are looking for is the uncontrollable environment. Now, uncontrollable environment is that particular type of perspective wherein you have a very little control or you have a very less control of yourself. So that particular perspectives of these particular perspectives forms of three types. The first type is the domestic environment. The second type is a part of foreign environment, and the third type is of the global environment. Now let's look further for the each three components in detail. The first perspective or the first type of uncontrollable environment is the domestic environment. Now, domestic environment is that particular perspective wherein the factors operate at the national firm. The firms are generally familiar with them and they are able to readily act to them. So what happens at this point of time, the domestic environment is that particular type of environment wherein your activities, your business transactions are conducted at the national level. So at the national level, at the country level, what are the various factors that you need to undertake? What are the various challenges that a particular firm or a particular company organization has to undergo? These particular factors comes under the purview of domestic environment. Some factors of the domestic environment that one needs to undergo is the competitive structure, the economic climate, and the political and legal forces. Now, speaking about the competitive structure, the competitive structure in the sense, now, for example, telecom industry. Now, when I say telecom industry, we have different service providers. You have a certain service provider, for example, Idea, Vodafone, Hutch, Airtel, and so on, or Tata, whatever it may be. So the competitive structure for this telecom industry will be all the participants, all the players wherein they are ruling or regulating or controlling or playing in the telecom industry. So your competitive structure at the local level, that is, when if you're studying at Pune, if you're studying at Mumbai, if you're studying at Delhi, the home environment for the particular city will be different. If you are operating at your state level, that is the state of Delhi, state of Maharashtra, state of Jammu and Kashmir, state of Hyderabad, state of Telangana, state of Andhra Pradesh, state of West Bengal, and so on, or state of Gujarat. So when whatever happens at the every state level, it differs. Now at the national level, whenever the particular product or your services are at the national level, the competitive structure or the competitive strategy also differs. Another perspective, second factors of domestic environment is the economic climate. So depending on the number of customers, depending on the availability of product, and depending on your demand and supply of the goods and services, your factors of domestic environment differs or changes. So now what happens? Your demand for a particular product in Mumbai may be different. Your demand for a particular product at Maharashtra level may be different, and your product at the demand for the particular product at the national level, that is India level, it may be different. So here what we need to see, the economic climate conditions of your product is how conducive, how supportive, or how it is comfortable. So the economic climate or the economic environment of a particular product or a particular company also plays an important role, and it directly impacts your domestic environment when you're playing your international business. So it forms of an nature of uncontrollable, because we cannot control this factor, because the competition, the structure, the economic factors are not in the control. The product of the demand for a particular product may increase, the demand for a particular product may decrease. There may be ups and downs in your supply price or your supply quantity, because it totally depends on the production. The production facilities depends on your availability of raw materials, processing of raw materials, marketing of goods and services, and so on. So here economic climate is directly relation, and it impacts your domestic or the world environment also. The political and the legal forces. Yes, definitely. The political and the legal forces that are into existence, the various acts, rules, regulations that are into picture, it also plays an important role, wherein you have to take into consideration about what are the various forces or the sources that are into picture. The legal guidelines with respect to the norms, procedures that a particular company has to follow, the rules that has been set by the government, and how you need to fulfill these particular rules within a specific time duration are also of utmost importance. The political stability. Now, for example, if there is a particular situation wherein there is no one political party ruling into a particular state or a particular nation, then at a different level, different rules can be set. At a different country, different level or the different norms can be set, and the political decisions differ. So political environment, which is of a domestic nature of your national concern, it also plays an important role, and it directly impacts your controllable factors. Second perspective we are looking for is the foreign environment. So foreign environment is that particular perspectives wherein the firms are generally not cognizant, that is similar to these factors, and their influences on the business activities. So what happens at this point of time, depending on firm to firm, the factors changes. Depending on company to company, the factor changes. So foreign environment is that particular perspectives wherein at different nations, different rules may be set. At different countries, the different norms may be available, and it impacts the different companies or different businesses. Now, the components of the foreign environment is, first example is the geographical environment. Country's climate, the topography, the availability of natural resources, and the people. So in terms of geographical environment, what we need to see, we need to understand all the factors of production, all the supportive and non-supportive factors that are into picture. The geography is a major concern of your nature or your climate. So depending on the nature or climatic conditions, your environment, your stability, your production, your supply, your goods and services, your availability of finances, everything differs according to the nature or according to the geography. For example, concern of an India. Now, India is a particular country or a particular nation. What happened? It is having a different structure of climate. We have a proper balanced season of summer, winter, and rainy. Now, based on this particular season, what happened? The climatic condition changes, the demand for the product changes, the production activity changes, and the supply of these goods and services changes. Now, climatic conditions, for example, I'll give a certain quote. For example, there is a requirement of grapes or mangoes. Now, if a particular grapes or mangoes it is been demanded or required, we cannot supply these goods and services in the month of November and December. Why? Because there is no actual production, physical production of these goods and services. The conducive environment, the suitable environment for production of mangoes is from February and March, wherein it is a summer season, and then only the mangoes can be generated or developed. Whereas other situation, for example, the country's climatic conditions with respect to production of coconuts. Now, coconut is a particular concern wherein there is no direct impact of either the sun, winter, or rainy, or whatever season that is made available. It does not get impacted. So, coconut is a particular product that is made available 24/7 for the 12 months across the nation. So the country's climate depends. Now, what happens whenever you are exporting the goods and services, your export of mangoes cannot be directly relational, cannot be directly linked, or cannot be in conducive, or it cannot be in a proportion with the coconuts that you are manufacturing. Same concern with the sugarcane, same concern with the wheat, jawar, bajra, rice, pulses, cotton, and so on. So every product has a different climate. Every country has a different climate, and based on these particular climatic conditions, your product demand and supply differs. Topography is that particular concern that depend on your climatic conditions. Now, for climatic conditions also decides what are the seasonal winds that have been flowing, what is the availability of land, and what is the availability of your type of soil that is made available, and what is the type of your environment, that is whether it is a humid environment, warm environment, cold environment, and so on. So what type of wind that they are flowing in your economy. So this particular environment also plays an important role, and it directly impacts your uncontrollable factors, because these particular factors are not at all controlled in the human origin or human from the human's perspective. The perspectives of natural resources. Natural resources, that particular resource which is available by birth by the nature, and it is supported by the concern of the climate or the nature. So it also differs from country to country, place to place, region to region, and city to city, or the village to village. So the natural factors that are made available, that is the type of soil, the type of water, the type of environment, the type of minerals, the type of raw material, and the type of goods and services, everything differs from a place to place. So at this point of time, what we need to see, the natural resources, the availability of these resources also directly impacts your production activity. Now, the availability of natural resources. Now, for example, I'll give a quote of certain example with respect to water. Now, water being a major essential requirement for establishing any type of industry, your business that is been flourishing in Maharashtra, the environment for a natural resource of water may be different in Western Maharashtra, that is in the region of Pune, Thane, Raigad, Mumbai, and it may be different in Marathwada region. Now, speaking in the states of, in the term of states, the environment may be different in Gujarat, the environment or availability of water may be different in Maharashtra, and the environment or availability of water may be different in Rajasthan. So comparative changes in the availability of water also directly impacts your foreign environment or your global environment at a larger scale. Second perspective is with the perspectives of the economic environment. The economic environment specifically focuses on the economic development, income level, that is gross national product and the per capita income of an individual, and the expenditure pattern along with the infrastructure. So what are the various goods and services that are made available? What is the demand of goods and services, demand and supply of the product that is been into picture, and at what rate the goods are being purchased, and what is the cycle that is been into picture. Simultaneously, what a particular company or a nation has to do, it has to look for the GNP and the per capita income. Now, per capita income is a particular concern wherein what is the spending pattern, what is the spending capacity of a particular individual of a particular nation that needs to be identified. So for this particular concern, what we need to identify, the income level of the people at large, whether you're the economy, whether the people of your country or a state is at the poverty level, below the poverty level, above the poverty level, at the maximum level, or everyone is rich and having a self-sufficiency stage. So what is the amount of funds, amount of money that is been available, so that the particular customer or a particular supplier can also purchase and sell those goods and services, that needs to be ascertained and identified. Financial environment. The financial environment focuses on specifically the monetary and fiscal policies that have been framed by the government. It is having a direct impact because it is generating or regulating and control the availability of funds in the market. Monetary policy with respect to the goods and services, with respect to the banking policies and availability of funds in the market. The fiscal policy with respect to the treasury or fund treasury management or the fund management of the either the central government or the state government that is into picture. So the policies of economics with respect to the monetary and fiscal is always playing a major impact role, and the availability of finances is directly impacting your production of goods and services, and also the supply and consumption of goods and services. The foreign investment policies and the balance of payment account. Now, in the first chapter, we have already dealt with what is the balance of payment account with respect to the capital account, current account, and official settlement account. So, at this point of view, what we need to take into consideration, what is the average total production of a particular country? What is the average total consumption of a particular country? How much amount of exports is been made? What is the amount of imports that is been done? What is the amount of settlement that is been made? In what way the bills have been settled down? So, all the transactions of the goods and services also needs to be identified, and accordingly the goods can be supplied and consumed. Next factor that we have is with respect to the demographic environment. Demographic that which specifically means with the individual perspective. Individual perspective, that is the size, age, gender composition of your respective population. So what is the size of your population? What is your population of a respective country, whether it is 1 crore, 2 crore, 10 crore, 100 crores, 150 crore, 750 crore, and so on. So if we look for a particular concern of a local level, it may be in terms of thousands or lakhs. If we look at a national level or a state level, it may be in terms of crores. But when you look at the global level, your transaction or your quantity of your population is in terms of billions. So at this point of time, what we need to say, what is your size of the economic key, at what level, at what target market you are aiming for. Another perspective is in terms of your age. So what is the age factor? What is your age differences between your respective people? Whether the product that you are offering or whether the goods and services or whether your economy is ruling at a certain stage wherein there are a large number of children, there are a large number of youth, there are a large number of old age people. Composition with respect to sexual perspective or gender wise, that is male are more or female are more, and so on. So that particular perspective with also we needs to take into consideration. Another perspective, fifth point, is with respect to the socio-cultural environment. Socio-cultural environment focuses on the perspectives of language, aesthetics, education, religion, superstitions, that is beliefs, attitudes and values of a particular person or a particular religion or a particular culture, the material culture into picture, the technological advancements or the technological availability, the social groups into existence, the organization that have been ruling, that is a large scale, medium scale, small scale organizations, and lastly, the business customs and practices. So all the perspectives of the socio-cultural environment also needs to be taken into consideration. Another perspective, or the second last and third last perspective, is the political environment, the legal environment, and the ecological environment. So all the factors of the external environment forms a particular picture, and foreign environment is directly related or controlled by the uncontrollable factors. So the uncontrollable factors are of the different origin, different perspectives, and a particular country or a particular nation has to take into consideration all such types of environment which is of an uncontrollable nature. Now here what we can see, a particular earth or our earth or globe is been surrounded by different nations, different member countries. So it has been always composition or it is having a certain consideration with respect to the global environment perspectives. Now global environment perspectives, the factors of uncontrollable nature can be the world economic conditions. So the economic conditions that the world may change very simultaneously, very frequently, at a very higher stage. The stage of US may be different. The world economic conditions of Europe may be different, China may be different, Japan may be different, US may be different, India may be different, Asian region may be different, African may be different. So at every different level, at every different world economy, we have different types of economic conditions. So based on this particular concern, your transaction, your business activities differs time to time, place to place, and country to country. The international financial system, it specifically focuses on the availability of finances and procurement or supply of those finances. Now, availability of finance in the sense, based on the requirement, based on the contribution, based on the availability of funds, what happens? The financial systems of every country, every nation, or the world economy differs. So based on the reserves with the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, based on the reserves with the World Bank, based on the reserves with your respective national banks or the centralized banks, the availability of funds is different at different countries. So what we need to do, we need to understand what is the type and structure of your financial systems also. So financial systems also plays an important role. The international agreements and the treaties. So the different agreements that have been conducted between the nations, between the countries, also plays a simultaneous equal role or important role. Your international trade agreements may be of different types. The different types may be either multilateral, unilateral, bilateral, plurilateral, any type of agreement that you are into picture. Your treaties may be between the one country, two countries, 10 countries, 15 countries, or it may be with the across the globe with it all the countries. So what type of treaty that you are entering into, what type of cartel you have formed, what type of groups that you have formed. So every regional economic grouping also impacts your business activity. So global environment of business, global environment that is being conducted or transacting your business activities also impacts on your economic grouping also. Now, this particular economic grouping is either helping you or it is providing you a platform to export and import your goods and services. So what type of nature, what type of feasibility, what type of composition it is, that also plays a simultaneous equivalent role. Another perspective is with respect to the worldwide economic recession. Now, recession is a particular concern where there is a continuous decrease in the prices of a particular product, and every economic transition is at a standstill or a stoppage position, where there is no development in any of the sector and it is always at a reducing stage. So recession is a particular perspective when if a particular world goes into recession stage, what happens? Every economy is getting affected, every company gets affected, and the businesses of organizations starts decreasing day by day. So worldwide economic recession, that is with respect to the World War I, World War II, recession of 1985, that is a Great Depression of 1935, or whether it may be recession of 2008, or it may be recession of 2016 and a recession of 2020 with respect to COVID-19 situation. So at every point of time, there is a different economic recession situation, and every world economy is getting directly or indirectly impacted towards from it. The international financial liquidity or stability. Financial liquidity, that is the availability of funds, availability of resources, availability of money into the world economy. So based on the requirement of the world, we have different types of currencies into picture. It may be either dollar, euro, yen, pound, or whatever may be type of currency. So these particular type of currencies have been traded and exchanged between member countries or member nations. So what is the availability of the financial terms and conditions or the financial amount? So the financial amount may increase, may decrease, it may be available, it may be not be available, whatever may be concern. So depending on the availability and the concern of the stability of these particular prices, the international financial environment is also in directly relation with respect to your global environment. Working of the international organizations. Various organizations that have been set up at the international level or the global level, they also play a certain positive role on performing and controlling your business activities. Furthermore, with respect to the general systems of preference, this particular system of preferences may be with respect to your MFN nation, that is most favored nations agreement. So your agreement with a certain nation may be positive, it may be with negative. You may provide a certain platform to a certain specific nation, you may not provide a certain platform to provide a certain goods and services to certain different nations. So what happened at this point of time, the general preferences, general systems into picture, it always directly or indirectly impacts and hampers your business activities. Next thing is the international commodity agreement. So commodity agreement in the sense whether you are dealing with the gold, silver, diamond, products, goods, services, whatever may be the commodity. So depending on your type of commodity, type and nature of your product, the international agreements differ and your global environments is differing. So here at this point of time, what we have seen with the components and perspectives of the different controllable and uncontrollable environment. Another major classification can be with respect to the micro environment and macro environment. The micro environment specifically includes with the suppliers, market intermediate, that is your distribution chain, the competitors, the customers, and the general public. So micro environment in the sense which is directly influencing the firm's decision and operation. So small factors which may be impacting your local business activities, your small scale activities is a part of micro environment. Macro environment is that particular concern which directly impacts the company in a larger scale and which is not of a micro perspective. This particular environment of a macro concept may include geographical concept, economic, financial, socio-cultural, political, legal, technological, and ecological. So another major classification of international business environment. Relevance, knowledge of international business of environment is very much important. Why? Because every country, every member nation, every economy is looking for its platform in the international level, global level, world economic level. So for this particular concern, we need to have a certain understanding and knowledge about how the particular environment is of world economic stage. Environment factors affects a firm strategic as well as tactical decisions. So it becomes an imperative for the firm to have in-depth knowledge of the various components of the domestic, foreign environment. So at this point of time, what we are seeing, all the decisions that have been taken by respective company, it directly impacts and it is taken from a strategic decision and from a tactical point of view. So Your strategy should be quite competitive. Your strategy should be quite comfortable and applicable in all the environments, so that it is providing benefits to the organization, it is providing benefits to the society, and it is ultimately satisfying your customers also. So international business environment, its study is equally important. Now, coming with the specific perspectives or the focus of country risk analysis. So country risk analysis with respect to the what are the various risk factors that have been associated. So country risk refers to the risk of investing or lending to a country rising from a possible change in the business environment that may adversely affect operating profit or the value in the country. So country risk analysis is a particular concern wherein there are several factors of production, there are several constraints wherein it may directly or indirectly hamper your production activities. It may provide your it may provide your conducive environment or supportive environment or an unsupportive environment for production of goods and services. So or considering all those factors wherein your risk of the country can be associated and minimized at a certain level, and it can provide a proper platform to sell these particular goods and services. This particular transaction or composition is called as a country risk analysis. Example, we can see the financial factors such as currency control, devaluation of regulatory changes, stability factors such as mass riots, civil war, and potential events contribute to the company's operational risk. So if any of these factors such as currency, devaluation, changes in the stability factors, changing in the climatic conditions, riots that are if are into existence in the masses, civil war that have been undertaken, and potential. So any activity that is being at a very larger scale or the smaller scale, it directly impacts your production activity. So at this point of time, entire country is at risk. The manufacturing or production activity is at a risk. It also sometimes refers, that is, the country risk also sometimes refers to a political risk. However, country risk in general term is referring to a risk that all companies are operating within or involved with a particular country. So within that specific country, what are those different types of risks that a particular company or a particular organization has to undergo? It's clearly focusing on that perspectives. It also represents the potentially adverse impacts of a country's environment on the MNC. So if a particular MNC is into picture, whether it may be a domestic company or a MNC company or an international company, how does it affect or impact that particular concern is also dealt with the country risk analysis. So various different risks are associated with each other. How the country can be used, a country risk can be used. So the country risk can be used or benefited for a particular firm or a business or a particular country in such a way that in order to monitor the countries where the MNC is presently doing the business. So wherein it is having your home country or domestic country, in order to monitor the activities of a particular country, the MNC plays a very important role. So MNC, what he has to do, he has to monitor the activities of a particular country and see that according to their environment, according to the supportive culture, the business activities have been conducted accordingly. A screening device to avoid conducting business in different countries with excessive review. So country risk can provide you as a controlling or a screening device. So with the help of country risk analysis, what you can do, you can identify, you can find out what are the various pros, what are the various cons, what are the various SWOT analysis, and what are the various benefits out of which you can get a benefit at a larger scale. So country risk analysis, that is the pest analysis, give you certain view or understanding about how a particular concept, how a particular terminology can benefit you or it may harm you excessively. It helps to improve the analysis used in making long-term investment or financing decisions. So in order to, if a particular company or a nation wants to make a long-term financing decision or an investment decision, the PESTEL analysis or the specifically calling country risk analysis helps you to understand, helps you to design your respective policies for your long-term investments also. Now, the various factors that have been involved in your country risk analysis or the PESTEL analysis. It may be with relate to the political, economic, location, sovereign, transfer risk, economic risk, exchange rate risk, financial factorial risk, subjective risk, terrorism risk, and corruption risk. So different types of risk are being associated wherein a particular company or an organization or particular economy has to undergo, and they have to provide a certain environment wherein it is quite suitable and beneficial to each and every member country, member participant, and the companies at large. Now, looking with the first perspective or the first type of risk, that is political risk factor. It is the attitude of consumers in the host country. Some consumers may be very loyal to the homemade products. So what is the political factor that they've been ruling into your organization or your into economy? So the role of government, the contribution of the domestic or the international government, the contribution of the rates, taxes that have been decided by the local government that is into existence plays a very important role wherein You have to decide about the types of goods and services, whatever the taxes that you have to pay, what are the various barriers with respect to tariff and non-tariff perspectives. Everything needs to be taken into consideration, and then only we can decide how the particular business environment can be conducted effectively and efficiently. Another perspective is with respect to the political risk is blockage of fund transfer. The funds that have been blocked may be optimally utilized. So depends on the political condition. What happened? You may have a certain feasible environment, conditional environment, or you may not have a certain feasible or unconditional environment. So depending on the type of environment that is available for you, your funds may be either blocked or your funds may be either in circulation or in usage. So political factors state your particular concern. That is, whenever a particular legal rule is been designed, whatever it impacts your availability of resources with respect to finance. So availability of finance, availability of resources, and the political changing terms and conditions, the political decisions that have been taken in your respective zones, in your respective constituency or respective assemblies, it directly impacts your business environment activities. The currency convertibility. So depending on the MNC, depending on the country that you are conducting the business activities, what happen? The currency factor also changes time to time. So the currency for the Indian transactions may be rupee. The currency for Western or international transactions may be dollar. The currency for a European country may be euro. The currency for a Japanese may be Japanese yuan, and so on. So from country to country, the currency changes, the demand changes, the supply changes. So the currency plays an important role, and it acts as a medium or a certain mode wherein the streamlining of activities can also take place. Simultaneously, if you want to look for the payment of taxes or the restrict of transfer of funds and local funds, so what happened? The currency also plays an important role. So with respect to the currency of political risk, transfer risk, and so on, so what happens? We need to take into consideration what are the various risks associated with respect to the currency that is into picture. So the role of MNC that is into picture, the requirement of MNC with respect to the availability of goods and services, availability of currency, availability of funds also needs to be taken into consideration while designing or deciding about the political risk. Next perspective is with respect to the war, bureaucracy, and corruption. So always a particular country or a nation should see that there is no war situation at any point of time in a country. Due to this concern, what happened? It may directly hamper or impact the economic factors. It may impact your political. It may impact your production, manufacturing, operational activities, and availability of raw materials. So, with the help of wartime situation, what happened? There is a particular situation of a threat in the mind of people and in the threat of mind of employees, and they may not feel comfortable to continue with the manufacturing or production activities. Next thing, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy can always complicate the business activities. So there should be a proper relation, proper coordination, proper ruling of the government activities. And if these particular government or ruling activities are quite conducive and supportive, then your business activities can be conducted fluently and effectively. Lastly, the corruption perspective. Corruption perspective with respect to the increasing the cost of business. So there should be a minimum concern wherein your corruption should be must be minimal, and a proper transparency in the system should be provided. Next perspective is with respect to the economic factors. Economic factors are that particular factors which have been used and provided by a certain concern, wherein you're using or you're providing a certain factor wherein the environment is quite conducive, the factors are quite conducive, and you provide a certain platform wherein the goods and services that have been provided are quite comfortable. So economic factors with respect to the diversification of economy, the degree of reliance on a few key indicators, the exports and imports of a decline in the worldwide, the prices of those exports that we have to set, the exchange rate deviation or devaluations, the frequency of government intervention in the money and market, and the ceilings of interest rates, and the possibility of recession. So all these particular factors are specifically focusing on the economic perspectives. The economic perspective with respect to the diversification of economy. Diversification of economy may be with related to your availability of goods and services, availability of money, availability of currency, and so on. So as many number of products have been provided, as many number of options have been provided to a consumer, what happen? The so many options have been created. The customer tends to purchase different types of goods and services, and it relates to your diversification in the economy. The degree of reliance on a few key indicators. So few indicators, it is having a certain concern as to degree of reliance. A particular company may rely on certain goods. A particular company or a particular customer may rely on specific goods or some different types of goods. So this particular demand or this particular type may change time to time, place to place, requirement to requirement, culture to culture, climate to climate, and so on. So Here what happens? The degree of availability of resources, degree of availability and reliance on a particular firm or a particular company, it changes time to time. Next perspective is with respect to the exchange rate devaluation. Your exchange rate, that is the prices of dollar currency or the euro currency or the yen, yuan, whichever currency that you are dealing in transaction, it may change at every point of time. So your currency transactions, your rate of currency is frequently fluctuating at a very higher stage or a very higher scale. So what we need to understand, we need to see that there is no much currency fluctuations, and there is at this point of time, the currency is at a very stable state. Exchange rate devaluation we have seen. Now the frequency of government intervention in the money market and the ceiling of interest rates. So proper intervention and proper involvement of the government in all factors of production, in all decisions should be there into picture. Now coming with the respective concern of subjective factors. The various subjective factors are the country's attitude towards the private enterprises. So the company or the particular country or the particular government may have different attitudes, different rules, regulations, norms, guidelines for the private individual, private firms, or for the global or the multinational firms, or for the MNC firms or the government owned firms. So the government being deciding a certain valuator or a certain value decider, what happened, different types of rules have been set for different companies, and different time slots has also been set for different companies. So at this moment of time, if there is a certain situation of a dissatisfaction, a particular country or a particular company may feel dissatisfied, and it may hamper directly your working conditions. The external flow dependence. So external flows with respect to all the external factors of nature or the environment is also directly impacting your business activities of subjective nature. The production or productivity restriction with respect to the quality, quantity, and specifications of the product also needs to be considered very effectively. The social pressures with respect to the pressure that is being provided by the society, the procedure that is given for the availability of goods and services with respect to the dumping and anti-dumping policy, every perspective needs to be taken into consideration in an effective way, and then only the product can be provided in a best possible manner. The attitude of consumers in the host country's economy. So what is the attitude of the consumers for purchasing these goods and services? Whether they are purchasing it willingly or by a certain default or by a certain burden, everything should be identified very fluently and effectively, and accordingly the attitude of consumer to purchase your product must be changed. For this particular concern, various marketing strategies can be adopted, various goods and services can be used, and accordingly the product can be developed or manufactured. Next perspective is with respect to the terrorism. So global terrorism index, what we can see at every point of time, the terrorism is increasing at a very higher rate, and every country is getting not benefited in the sense, is getting affected out of it. So it is creating a certain havoc situation that a certain huge amount of losses has been conducted, and no country gets benefit by conducting or supporting the terrorism. So every member country, while conducting the international business, has taken into consideration that proper control on the terrorism activities is also needed to be taken into consideration, and the control should be made in a proper way in order to motivate the business and activities or business transactions at the global level or international level. The economic risk factor, the risk factor that has been associated with the economy, it should have a certain significant impact that the proper economic structure or the balance of payments of your economy is been well set and designed in a perfect way. So expected rate of return, whatever the rate of return that you are expecting, the company is expecting, it should be provided at a certain feasible rate so that there is a proper supportive conducive environment and everyone is getting benefit of his desired profit. So if you are expecting a profit at a certain rate, at a certain percentage, the company must be satisfied with that particular amount of availability of profit in the organization. The next perspectives or the concern is with respect to the transfer risk factor. So you may transfer your risk from one product to another product to one country to another country. So decision by decision, firm by firm, country to country, your risk factor changes. So according to the capital requirement. So what is the amount of capital that you require? What is the risk associated with it? Everything you need to take into consideration, and accordingly the risk can be controlled by the respective concerns. Another factor perspective is which we have is with the perspectives of the exchange risk. So exchange risk in the sense your exchange of valuation of currency. So your valuation of currency changes, the prices of your currency, that is with respect to dollar to euro, dollar to yen, rupee to euro, rupee to dollar, and so on. So at every point of time, the rate of currency, the prices of currency are changing at every place and frequently. Locational risk factor with respect to the geographical factors that we have already dealt in detail with respect to the trade alliances, size, borders, economical conditions, and so on, and the locational factors. And lastly, the sovereign foreign risk. So sovereign foreign risk is with respect to the sovereignty and benefits of a particular concern or a particular nation. So it can be related directly with the transfer risk and availability of favorable and unfavorable conditions of balance of payments. Now, going further, lastly, what we are looking for, lastly, with respect to the financial risk factors. So financial risk factors with respect to the availability of goods and services, availability of money concern, and so on. So here, the availability of money differs from person to person, company to company, country to country. The exchange rates, the interest rates, and the inflation rates change at every frequent point of time. That's all for the today's lecture. We'll stop at this particular perspectives wherein we are dealt with and we have seen different risk factors that have been